very nice people. Some very, very, very nice people. Once you meet the nicest people in your dreams. It's funny, but it's true. That's where I first met you. And you're the nicest, paradisest thing I ever.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Larp Kit. Today we're stuck in a field with a smiley man that makes things in Derbyshire in gorgeous sunshine. It's sweltering, to be truthful. So we have some questions for him that you might be interested in. Who are you and what do you do?
I'm Simon, I run Eldritch. I've been making latex weapons for a little over 30 years. Yeah, pretty much.
Didn't you make foam and gaffer tape weapons before then?
Yeah, well, everybody made foam and gaffer tape weapons before then because you know there weren't really latex weapons about. The early days, everybody had gaffer weapons, and then Simon Medlock invented. Yeah, I think it's fair to say Simon Medlock invented latex weapons, and technology kind of moved on a bit. Went from the original stuff, which was gaffer tape, carry mat, curtain rail.
Yeah.
Ask any old live role player, and they will tell you Swish Deluxe. Fond memory for curtain rails.
Swish Deluxe doubled up with gaffer tape and a bit of lead in the handle.
And then kite spars and fishing rod tips were found. And we worked out that fiberglass could be used. And we found this kite shop up in Covent Garden somewhere that was selling the rods that we now know as weapon cores. We bought a load of those and made stuff with them, and then kind of got into doing latex weapons as a sort of. I was working as a postman. This is the mid to late 80s, and my mate Dominic, who was working for Pete Garner at the time, at Garner Adventure Tours, ran Labyrinth.
Yeah, we were all there.
Yeah. They were starting to make their own latex weapons, and Dom said, "You make gaffer tape weapons. Come and try this latex thing. You know, you get paid." I was doing it in my free afternoons because obviously as a postman, you work mornings from about 5:30 till about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
And roughly when was that?
That's 87, 88, something like that.
And when did you form Eldritch?
So I worked for Pete for a few years.
Look at these.
I think I broached out on my own after a disagreement with Pete sometime in the early 90s. 91, 92 maybe?
Okay. Right. How would you describe your business?
Chaotic.
As in, what does it do? What do you produce?
We make latex weapons. Props, that kind of stuff. We're creative. Prop makers.
So any weapon, what about armour?
Don't really make armour. I've dabbled with it in the past, made leather stuff, made and sold leather stuff, but I mean, to be honest, there are enough people in the field doing that commercially that it's not worth my while to do it and try and make a business of it because it detracts from making the weapons.
Have you attempted to make foam latex armour?
Years ago, I'm just not very keen on it. It has a funny look to it.
Fair enough. Well, we've seen some of your laser cut work. Do you think that now you're in a position where if you looked at it again you might do some stuff with that on it?
Foam armour?
Foam armour with your laser cut etching?
Maybe. I mean, it's the difficulty with foam and latex is when we were originally making foam armour, this is a good 20 years ago, we made a few pieces, and there just wasn't the prevalence of people making armour back then. Now you've got Norton Armouries, Wormwick, Nick Mods, all making polyurethane armour, and I think polyurethane armour is much superior to latex armour. It still has that not metallic sheen to it. You can look at it and say that's polyurea armour. Which I think is one of the things that put me off for latex armour. You can do good things with it, like bone kit or texture stuff that you just couldn't do in metal, obviously. But yeah, if you want lightweight armour, Lickmods, Wormwick,
Okay.
Norton, and there's enough steel armour out there.
So, if somebody wants to buy something from you, how should they do it?
Well, we've got our website and Facebook page. Best thing to do is drop us.
By the way, we'll be posting those at the bottom of this. You'll be able to see the links to both their webpage and their Facebook page.
I believe the traditional thing to do is in the corner.
Now, we're not doing the corner, it's going to be down below.
Oh, down below?
Down below.
Okay. So the website has a contact us
Yeah.
button on it. Somewhere, I think it's on the top right. So too much YouTube. The Facebook page, just message us
Okay.
and let us know what you want. Link an image that you want to sort of find, or draw something if you've got any artistic talent, or you know someone who has, and you can express what you want, or give us a decent description if you want, a wibbly wobbly death bone saber vertebral thing. Just give us the description, and we'll see what we can work with that.
Having worked with Simon before, please also realise that this is foam and latex. There are safety rules, and things have a minimum thickness, and going below that is not an option. Okay.
Yeah, swords with holes in them.
Yeah.
It's possible, but very complicated.
What would you say is the best bit of kit you've ever made?
I think the favourite bit of kit that I ever made, it was the rune carved sort of Norse lord's sword I made for Dave Williams about 4 or 5 years ago.
Was that the one that was the blue and white one?
Yeah, with the
Yes.
with all the runes down the middle. It's one of the very laser cut things. It was just, this is going to make a difference.
Yeah. I remember that was a beautiful sword.
It's a pain in the arse to paint because all the runes have to be painted one drop of latex at a time with a cocktail stick into the bottom of the runes. Very fiddly.
What would you say if somebody was brand new, came to your stall, what is the bit of kit that you would advise them to buy?
If you're buying the first bit of kit, you want to find something that's plain, generic, and sturdy. You don't want a wibbly sword, you don't want a katana, you don't want a fancy rune sword. You want something nice and plain. I would recommend 36 inches or 42 inches. 36 inches is probably better.
Yeah.
And you want to have a bit of weight to it. Don't buy carbon fibre. Something plain, simple, a Viking sword or a plain knight sword. Something that will be usable across genres, usable as a monster when you're monstering, usable for other characters, all sorts of things. If you've got a really, really fancy sword, it's really distinctive for the first character, and your first character dies, then it's going to be... Hang on, is he still playing that character? Because he died, but he's still got that character's sword. What's going on?
And what price range would you say that is?
That's sort of £50 to £55 at the moment. It'll probably go up in the autumn.
And that's in August 2019. Okay. If you were to give a newbie a piece of information to help them play, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a good question.
It's got a scale thing. I'll show you a picture because it might be exactly what you want.
Try and be definite and remember the details.
Okay. And finally, what Larp would you like to see?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm very much enjoying sci-fi LARPs at the moment, particularly crossover airsoft LARPs. I'd love to see something where, I mean, obviously, it's a unlimited budget kind of thing. I'd love to see something where the party gets helicoptered in or driven somewhere in the back of an APC to something, and then spill out, and then like a proper deployment.
Like a Predator thing?
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Aliens versus Predator, we'll use the Marines type thing.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Right.
Something with with pyros and explosions and
A bit of effort.
Yeah, effort. I know that there have been some out there in the past that have done interesting things like that, but they're few and far between.
I've heard some good things in Sweden.
Yeah,
Which
the
was
Swedish
really-
LARPs.
yeah.
The one they did on the Destroyer.
There's no, the one they did in the airfield, an airsoft LARP, where literally I think you had to assault an airfield. So they brought everybody in at one end and dropped them off in. I think they were hoping to get APCs, but got vans, and I believe it was near Soft Weekend along those lines. Well, Simon, thank you very much indeed for taking the time, and hopefully later on we'll be able to come to your workshop and see you actually creating, if that would be okay.
I should think so.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
Take care, mate. And all the links to Simon's site and the things that he does will be listed below. And that's down.